Can you guys hear me now? Please respond in the chat so I know. Hello? You have to. I didn't know you couldn't hear me before. I don't have any headphones on. Can you guys hear me now? Please let me know. Please drop something in the chat. Hello? Karen, can you hear me? Chris, thank you. Chris, you said no. Can you hear me? Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Tula. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Chris, if you still can't hear me, people can hear me now. So apologies. I didn't realize I wasn't speaking. So let me recap again. Shout out to some of you. I know some of us are from Sussex Squad. Thank you for being here. This announcement is really more for immigration, as you may have seen from the title. So I live in the UK and morning. I live in the UK, and this morning, our current government, the UK Labour government, have announced immigration changes. They have released an immigration white paper. I wanted to do this quick live because I'm Nigerian and this affects a lot of Nigerians I know, because many of them are still in the process of whatever existing visa they are on, and many of them have not applied for indefinite leave to remain, and many of them, some of them are care workers. So I wanted to just give a quick summary. I've read the document and I'm going to give you a key summary of the bullet points. Thank you guys for showing up. I didn't know you would. I just wanted to let people know because it affects my community. So I will start again from the beginning because I did not realize I was not being recorded. So this paper is the May 2025 UK immigration white paper titled Restoring Control Over the Immigration System. It outlines major reforms at reducing net migration, strengthening border controls, promoting domestic workforce development, and tightening visa compliance. Here is a summary of the key points, guys. Right. So let's start with the work and skilled migration. Thanks, Janet. How are you? So for those of you who are interested, the skilled threshold has been raised. What this means is the minimum skill for skilled worker visas will return to RQF level 6, graduate level, reversing the 2020 change that allowed lower skilled workers RQF3 to qualify. For context, this is in relation largely to the care worker visa, because if you guys remember, many Nigerians, many Africans migrated to the UK under the care worker visa. At that time, it was just at the start of the pandemic and they needed people. So I believe that's why they relaxed a lot of these rules. That is gone now. You have to be a graduate. Now, the next thing, the closure of the care worker visa routes, that's gone. New applications for social care visas from overseas will no longer be permitted. Extensions for those already in the UK are allowed until 2028. So if you're a care worker, if you're a care worker company, you need to start preparing your workers. If you're thinking of applying for a care worker visa, that opportunity is gone. If you're already here under care worker visa and you're panicking, relax. You have until 2028 to extend and to make a decision on what you want to do next. The immigration skills charge, the fee will be increased by 32% to support training the domestic workforce. This is BS, by the way. I believe they are doing this just to punish people so that you don't apply. Then there is the temporary shortage list, TSL, a new time-limited visa route for RQ3 to 5 occupation, allowed only if tied to workforce strategies and MAC recommendations. So that's quite important if you're a company hiring or if you're somebody looking, if you're trying to get people in with the getting I don't like calling it lower skilled workers. I don't like that word. But basically, if your educational level falls between RQ F3 and 5, this is important for you. So they are setting up a new time limited list for occupations that fall under this, which you may be able to apply for. So keep your eyes out for that. They haven't given any time to that yet. And of course, enforcement on employers. This part I'm actually happy about. Employers must show commitment to domestic training or risk losing visa sponsorship rights. This is very important. Why? As a Nigerian, I hear stories of a lot of Nigerians that are exploited by companies who bring lots of people in here, they charge them. I want you to know certificates of sponsorships are not supposed to have a cost. Nobody charges for that. So if they are charging you, they are already taking advantage of you. One, two, many times they bring people here after charging you for that COS, by the way, they bring you here and they don't actually have jobs for you. They bring you here, put you on one job, then they lose that contract and it's over. Right? Then you have a lot of people that are stranded. They spent all their money getting here. They can't get food. They can't get places to live. They have to claim asylum. And many people tend to come with their children. So it's just a terrible situation. So I'm glad that they're enforcing rules around this now. So let's talk about student and graduate visas. Graduate route is shortened. Post-study work visas will only last 18 months. It previously used to be 2 to 3 years. That's gone. Only 18 months now. Higher scrutiny on universities. Stricter basic compliance assessment requirements. Introduction of red, amber, green ranking system for sponsors. Potential levy on international tuition income. Dependents. Stricter limitations on dependents accompanying student visa holders, especially in lower ranking institutions. Context. Currently in the UK, if you're here under a student visa, you are limited on a lot of things you can do. If you're working, which many people need to do to survive, you can only work 20 hours. That is very strict, and you must attend your classes. They are tracking attendances now. What they are saying is they're even going to make even stricter basic compliance, but this is mainly for the universities. They are going to put a red, amber, green. This is a risk ranking assessment. It's kind of a standard assessment if you work in the UK. Red, I'm guessing, means that you are probably not compliant or you have found to be in breach of certain things. Amber is a warning. Green, you are perfectly compliant. The rules around this ranking system, I'll provide more details. And the potential level on international income, the universities will be pissed, but I understand why they are doing this. If you look, I don't know if this is reality or just right-wing propaganda. A lot of people complain on social media they are unable to get spaces in universities because universities are prioritizing international students. Why? International students do not have a cap. British students do. Universities want to make money, so of course they will prioritize international students. I'm not here to debate right or wrong. I'm just telling you the news. Now, the next thing, very important, families and settlement reforms. Settlement timeline extended. Most migrants must now wait 10 years, up from 5, to qualify for settlement. Exceptions exist for British citizen, dependents, and vulnerable groups. So basically, only if you are the daughter, or a child of somebody who has a British passport, does this not apply to you, or if you're vulnerable. Now, this is the biggest shock, frankly. And I am deeply empathetic with everybody who is going to be affected by this. So again, I'm going to check in the document. I've checked in the document to see when this comes into effect. Now, earned settlement and citizenship. New points-based contributions model to fast-track settlement, and citizenship based on tax, service, or community contribution. A review of life in the UK test is planned. I will provide some more details about those new points-based contributions. English language requirements. Tighter language rules now apply to all adult dependents, not just main applicants. Yikes. Okay. Enforcement and border control. Digital ID and e-visas, full rollout of e-visas to monitor entry and exit and visa compliance, replacing physical biometric cards. Frankly, I think this is a good thing because those cards are always getting missing. So this is good. Visa abuse crackdowns. Tighter rules for asylum claims from visa holders when no significant change has occurred in your home countries. Removal of visa-free travel privileges when abuse is detected. For context, a lot of people will come, I said it before, a lot of people will come here with one visa, and for one reason or another, or maybe they planned it intentionally, they will not be able to continue with the visa they brought on. I'm referring to students, I'm referring to people on care visas, and they automatically, because they are here, claim asylum. Now they are saying that they're stopping that now. They're going to be very strict around it. Okay. So illegal working. Illegal working, enhanced enforcement with biometric tools, more raids, and broader financial checks on visa holders and sponsors. Yikes. I don't like that word, more raids. It sounds aggressive to me, but the warning is there. If you know anybody who is intentionally hiring people who are illegal immigrants, they are saying they are basically giving border controls and the police more opportunity and the authority and more funding to raid those places. So you need to let people know that, look, they're not messing around. Think of it as British ICE. Maybe not as effective, and we do have human rights laws, but you know what I mean. And of course, the last one, integration and language policy. Language policy proficiency is raised. Skilled workers from B1 to B2 independent user. Dependents now require A1 initially and must show progress to A2 or B2 for settlement. Citizenship reform will align with earned settlement reforms and may lower financial barriers for young adults raised in the UK. Wow, okay. So I'm going to quickly give some context on certain things I've just said now. The immigration charge. Let me see if I can get the cost. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm getting more information on the immigration costs that they've said here. If it doesn't say anything, then we'll just... So there isn't a detailed cost or application fee increase provided in this document. There's no detailed visa fee table or anything, but I will mention, I just spoke now about the education sector levy, a proposal, it was proposed in the document. The government plans to explore a levy on higher institutions, provider income from international students. This will be reinvested into the UK's higher education and skills system. Details of this levy will be released in the autumn budget, but no specific figures have been stated in the document yet. Okay, let me see. I also spoke about the 32% immigration skills charge, and it's the first increase since 2017 for context. This is intended to bring rates in line with inflation and fund domestic skills training, as mentioned. AKA, this to me is just an underhanded way to stop people from trying to hire abroad. So let me see if there's more details on. If anybody has any questions, please let me know in the chat. Would you like, is there anything you'd like me to give you details on? I'm deep diving, I'm doing a deeper dive into the family settlement visa. Okay, so like I said, they have this new thing that they're calling end settlement models. Sorry, it's point based, and it is largely based on duration of residence and is going to be reformed, and it will allow individuals to earn settlement through economic and societal contributions such as paying UK taxes, working in priority sectors, and volunteering. I think this is an opportunity. So if you're worried, if you're, let's say, an engineer, or you're working in areas that are really adding value to the UK economy, I really think that there's an opportunity here. If you're worried about your visa settlement, and based on that, I think they will give you points. So I would say, from what I can see, consultation on this model is going to take place 2025. They will come back to us and give us more details. When they do, I will do another live and provide more information. Wow. So I want to quickly expand on the family settlement. I've just spoken about the points-based system. So let me start from the top again. For those of you that have families, because I know a lot of families are impacted. Extension of residency requirement for settlement. Standard pathway to settlement for most immigrants, if you recall, for those of you with families, is going to go up from 5 to 10 years. The exceptions, as I said before, non-UK dependents of British citizens may still settle if compliant. Vulnerable groups, so victims of domestic abuse, can retain current protections. So that's a good thing. If you're in a difficult place right now and you've reported it and it's been investigated, you still have a chance to apply for the 5-year route. If you are a non-UK dependent of a British citizen, you may, with some compliance requirements, be able to settle after 5 years. Okay, so what that tells me is there is a loophole. It is something you could probably get a lawyer to negotiate for you. I've already spoken to you about the earned settlement model. The consultation comes out 2025. And of course, the English language requirements, we've already spoken about that. And the financial requirements reform, this is very important. Expansion of the minimum income requirement to more dependent routes. Families will need to demonstrate they can support themselves without relying on public funds. The Migration Advisory Committee has been asked to review the MIR levels, suggesting they may rise. Please keep an eye out for this. I'll keep an eye out for it, and I'll do a live once it comes out. Article 8 and exception circumstances framework. So there is a new parliament endorsed framework that will clarify how exceptional circumstances under Article 8 of the ECHR apply to family migration cases. This is to reduce loophole, yikes, and ensure consistency in visitor visa overstays, spurious asylum claims linked to family ties, late human rights claims after illegal entry. This is intentional. I am referring to the UK. So that last part is very important, guys, because a lot of people would use the ECHR Article 8 as their argument to stay if they came into the UK by overstaying, or if they made asylum claims, or if they made human rights claims after illegal entry. They are consulting on that. I'm trying to find a way, as they clearly said, to reduce the loophole use. So I would keep an eye on that. And there's also additional support measures. New bereaved parent route allows immediate settlement for parents of a deceased British or settled child. That's very important. Pathway for young adults and caregivers. Those who turn 18 and discover they lack legal status will be supported to regularize and settle. This is fantastic. I read a story. I was shocked at a story I read a few months ago about how many people, through no fault of their own, their parents brought them here when they were children, and their parents were not able to, for whatever reason, get their visa or their passport application sorted. So now these people are basically stateless. As you can imagine, that's terrible. They can't leave the country, they can't apply for work, they have to permanently be on benefits until they can sort it out. It's a horrible place to be, and I'm glad they finally put something in here to sort that out. So the plan is to, again, I focused on the family visa side because I know that's where many of us are concerned about. And let me do one last deep dive into care workers. Because I know many people are currently care workers. You want to know what come. I've already mentioned that if you're already in the country, they will give you grace until 2028. Okay. So So a lot of the things they've changed in the care worker visa really should help you. It's really a good thing if you think about it, because that is one visa that has been drastically exploited. As I said in the beginning, I will recap again, that visa route is closed. No, there are no new care worker applicants that are coming in. So please take note. Don't let people take advantage of you. If somebody says that they have a visa for you for care in the UK, nope. Nope, nope, nope. It's gone. It's done. That doesn't exist. So don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Existing workers can stay and extend their visa until 2028, but that date is subject to review. So don't hang on to that. Abuse and exploitation. I mentioned to you at the beginning that they will be revoking a lot of sponsors' license for cases of exploitation and abuse and misconduct. And the aim is to reduce the amount of migration. I can't see anything here beyond what I said already. And let me see. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. So in summary, let me do a very quick summary. A very quick summary of the document. Thank you for staying with me this long. And then I'll do a quick Q&A if anybody has any questions. For those of you that are here, thank you for being here. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yeah, things have changed. This is going to affect people I know. My family members are going to be badly affected. I'm very annoyed by this, actually, especially the 10 years ILR. I think it's very unfair. Yeah, so I will just quickly recap everything I've just said. Skilled threshold has been raised to graduate level. If you are not on a graduate level, you most likely will not get that sponsorship. Social care visa is closed, no more new visas. Salary thresholds have been increased for work, and immigration skills charge, there are new costs coming. And the temporary, there is going to be a temporary shortage list, which is time limited and sector linked. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions in the chat? Those of you that are still here, I'm not a lawyer. I just took the document, did a read, I made some notes. Um, I'm asking, when does the ILR come into effect? So that's the part that I was very concerned about, because like I said, I have family members here. Okay, so I guess if you're asking, if you're wondering, if you're currently on ILR, or you're on a path to ILR, it's very possible that you may be able to maintain the 5-year application, but we don't know. The consultation is currently going on. I hope it is. I hope they give people grace that are on a path to ILR and let them at least apply, because they didn't expect this. Is not fair. And yeah, so they said they will consult later in the year. So that's it, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything you'd like to ask before I end this live? Thank you. The bots have always been a pain in the ass, bro. Please ignore the bots. This is quite serious, and I know a lot of people are very troubled and are very concerned, and I deeply empathize. But this is what we have right now. If you are planning on coming here under care worker visa, I would strongly recommend you don't bother, because it's gone. If you're a student, ILR, they're going to be ranking universities now. I would be careful. Before I rush to come, wait and check and see their rank-based system to see if the university you are going to is there and what impact that will have for your settlement if your plan is to stay. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you guys for all your support. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe, and yeah, take care. Bye.